This is your Sweeping Up Spirits Tarot goodie bag. All signs as they come up, beginning with Pisces. There is a sign of Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo who has failed to realize that you are not waiting on them anymore, even though they were your first choice, quite possibly. You took their hesitation as a bad omen, and it was a bad omen, too. There was a sign of Aquarius, Libra, Gemini on the radar who had an evil eye on them, one that has since played out. And you do have other choices now that you are considering. Cancer. There is a sign of Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, and they have failed to realize that you're not waiting on them anymore, even though they may have been your first choice as well. You took some hesitation as a bad omen, quite possibly, and it was a bad omen, whether you took it like that or not. There was another Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries sign on the radar who had an evil eye on them. Well, that has since played out. And you seem like you have this energy coming in as down for whatever now. You're just very sociable. So you're meeting lots of new individuals. So you will be meeting someone as far as at one of the get-togethers, parties, or activities or functions that you attend. Scorpio. There is a sign of Aquarius, Libra, Gemini who has failed to realize that you're not waiting on them anymore, even though they may or may not have been your first choice. You did take hesitation, kind of like as a hard hit, so to speak. You took it as a bad omen, some of you guys, and it was somewhat of a bad omen because there was a sign of another Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini on the radar who had an evil eye on them, one that has since passed, died out. That interest, that evil eye, that envy has faded a bit. You are content in just enjoying the luxuries around you. You are not taking life for granted by any means. You are content and happy in your solitude. However, you may meet someone who is also into the same types of luxuries, and you'll be able to enjoy those together when you're ready. Leo. There is a sign of Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio who may have failed to realize that you're not waiting on them in the same way anymore. If you, in fact, were, you're not even like really considering them stepping up to the plate, even though they may have been at least one of your first choices there. Um, you did take that hesitation on their part as a bad omen. And, looking into that, that wasn't necessarily, a mute way to go there. It was really a good move because there actually was a sign of a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries who, yeah, they had an evil eye out there. They were on the radar with this evil eye, one that has since taken a turn to be downplayed. However, they were really trying to be on some drama if things would have lit up between you guys. Now, what's going on is you do have some money coming in, some savings kind of like piling up, or something having to do with what you're giving to the world. You are getting some financial returns back, and you're likely to find someone to spend some of that loot on in a romantic way if you're open to that as you move forward. Sagittarius. Now, there is an Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini who has failed to realize that you're not going to be slowing down. You're not going to be waiting on them anymore. Even though they may have been, a very good choice. You may have considered them even as like one of your top picks for something that you have going on. You did take any hesitation on their part as a bad omen, and it was because of the fact that there was another Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini person on the radar who did have an evil eye on them, so to speak, at some point in time. You are at the place where you just are feeling nurtured where you are. And, you're just feeling good about it. So whoever comes in, what I mean, as long as you stay on that even kill, as long as you still continue to feel as nurtured as you do now, you'll be good with, for those of you who are single at this time. Let's see. Aries. So there's a Leo, Sagittarius, or another Aries sign who has failed to realize that you are not waiting on them. You're not looking at them the same way. You're not going to really have them putting the pause on things, APAUSE, as in pause on anything that you really want to get accomplished. Even though they may have been someone right up your alley, if not one of your top picks, top choices, their hesitation did cause you to feel like maybe it was a bad omen, and it was because of the fact of this Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio on the radar who has had this kind of like evil eye on them, one that has since faded. You are feeling a little bit hurt. It's reciprocal though, I'm getting, because they felt hurt. They felt backstabbed. Things happened between you guys, and they do happen. And they didn't fully understand where you were coming from because maybe you weren't that clear and you expected them to see more clearly. However, they had a lot going on, and they just really didn't know where you were coming from. So if you guys move forward, even as far as being pals, that is going to be something that um, definitely is going to have to be cleared up within your next relationship that many of you guys are open to. That's one thing you're going to be able to avoid by just being clear, like super clear. Like you may tell someone something, but you may have to give them the backstory as well, um, because of the fact that when there is this lack of clarity, sometimes people end up feeling a bit hurt, like in this case. Taurus. There is an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini who has failed to realize that you are not waiting on them anymore for something going on, even though they may have been one of your top picks for something that you have going on, something that you are or have been involved in. They were behaving in a way that caused you to feel like they were stalled out a bit, and their hesitation did um, have you feeling like maybe there was a bad omen to what was going on. So you did heed that. And the bad sign that definitely was a part of that feeling is that there was this Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries person on the radar who had an evil eye on them, so to speak. Now you are feeling like things really couldn't um, go worse with that relationship. And so you are ready to either, put the brakes on it or just be open to helping someone else who's going to appreciate you more and who you're going to feel better about helping. So, this could be something that is both business and romance related, or either or there with what you have going on. Capricorn. The sign who is failing to realize that you're not going to be as patient with them or wait on them anymore is this Leo, Sagittarius, Aries person. Even though you may have held them in high esteem at one point, they may have been your first choice overall for something that you had going on as well. However, hesitation on their part um, did present itself as a bad omen, and it actually was because there was a sign of Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini on the radar who had an evil eye on them, and that was just going to get you encased in that negative energy there. Right now, you are at the place of bouncing back. You're very resilient, and anyone who comes at you in business or romance is going to realize that anything that is really petty, that's not going to be something that you're going to allow to take you down. So you just have this energy that is attracting other people like yourself. Um, just someone who is not going to give up easily and definitely not going to back down by any means when it comes to things that are important to you and the way you want to live your life. Virgo. There is a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio sign who has failed to realize that you're not going to be letting them slow you down, or you're not going to be waiting on them anymore, even though you may have taken them seriously at one point. When they stalled or hesitated in some way, you took that as a bad omen. And it was, if you consider the fact that there's this Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini person who was on the radar with this evil eye energy towards them and causing tremendous issues, really rough energy coming in with that person. Now you are at the place where, you're letting people know, don't mess with me. Guilty by association, yes, but don't get me involved in any riffraff, any nastiness, because you don't want it to backfire on you, which it will. So you are drawing people in who are very courageous and really ready to express any displeasure at people getting you involved in extraneous stuff. So yeah, that's what's going on with you. And you are attracting that like energy at this point, someone who is really going to understand you better. And that's all you are going to stand for besides. Aquarius. Now there is this Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio sign who failed to realize how reckless they were being. And they failed to realize that you weren't going to be allowing them to put the brakes on anything that you have going on. Not for much longer. A lot of you guys have just decided to silence that chatter that's coming in from them already. You're not going to have them make you wait, and you're not going to be waiting on them, period, or anything, that they're trying to slow down anymore. Even though you were a great listening ear for them at one point, you have chosen to proceed with your life and what you have going on now. Them hesitating on things that they were doing just showed you where they were coming from. It also was a bad omen if some of you took it like that, because there was this Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo coming in, kind of a bummer on the radar for them at least, with an evil eye, one that they were acting on and bringing that energy towards them, with you kind of like experiencing that atmospheric pressure from all of that tornado like energy there and all that radiation coming in. That's the best way to describe it. A lot of irritating factors going on with what they had going on. So it's a good thing that you have separated yourself from what they've had going on. Now you are at a place of celebration, and just doing really well, as far as this could represent anything from anniversary to marriage to just, again, like parties and a very celebratory atmosphere here. And so you don't really have time for that drama, nor would you have time for it if you were just sitting around without all of this celebratory vibration coming in. And that's what you're putting out as well. You're likely to attract someone while you're in that space, and it will continue all of that positive energy between you and this other individual. If you are open to that, I do see that coming in. Now let's see what Libra has going on. Libra, there is a sign of another Libra. This is Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, who has failed to realize that you are not going to be putting the stop on your show. They don't know you don't stop, you go. Like the song goes, and you're not going to be waiting on them anymore. They will eventually figure that out. Even though they may have been in a good space with you at some point, you did take some hesitation on their part as a bad omen, which it was because of this Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy coming in on the radar as this evil eye energy here that was causing a few issues, to say the least. Right now, you are at this place where there are additional finances coming in. Things are looking good monetarily, and you are going to be able to splurge on someone or just on yourself. So when it comes to romance or business and home life, everything is looking rather successful here. So you don't really have time for envy and negativity, whether it's coming in because of association or just someone else who hates to see other people excel. Gemini. There has been a sign of Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio who has been failing to realize that you are not waiting on them in any way at all. Even though they may have been someone who you held on a top tier as far as personality wise, or the way that they were coming at you, their past and all things considered, their hesitation did you lead you to wonder, what was going on in the background. Some of you may have chosen to investigate a little bit or have someone do that for you. That was a good read on your part. Bad omen, yes, that's exactly what that was there, because of this energy that was reverberating with this Aquarius, Libra, Gemini sign, who did have an evil eye tendency to come in on a regular basis and try to really put corruptive vibrations on whatever was going on. Now, things have simmered down a bit, although not positively ceased, with what this person has had going on. Even though you have let them know, or you will be letting them know, that you won't have any part in it. They'll figure it out anymore to do with any of that. You're not feeling that. What you are feeling is just justification in this walking away from this. I mean, you generally tend not to, want to walk away or whatever, but this right here is just showing that, it's time. It's high time to hightail it out of there, because that is just a lot of excess. Someone really clowning, and you don't need that in your life. So this is going to be all for the best for you and for your nerves as you move forward. And there is someone else waiting out there, someone who is going to be a better fit for you, whether in business or in love. And I think that's a wrap for all 12 signs